will draw blood against the seemingly invulnerable Me-262. March 24, 1945. The drone of aircraft engines echoes through the skies of central Germany. A bomber train of 200 B-17 Flying Fortresses descend on Germany, targeting a tank assembly plant in Berlin. Mustangs of the 332nd Fighter Group fly escort. Just outside Berlin, the Red Tails are scheduled to be relieved by another unit, the 31st Fighter Group.
Turned out that they got caught in the weather. We were told, keep on to target. We had enough fuel, barely, to get back.
The 332nd stays with the bombers. But as they near the target, the Americans spot the distinct contrails of twin-engined Me-262s.
All of a sudden, we begin to hear bogeys, bogeys. And that's where we began to see streaks up in the air. We were flying about 24, about 26. These streaks going out and said, oh, jets. So in my case, I said, be alert, be alert, be alert. I'm taking over.
The 262s won't risk a frontal assault. They'll break up in small groups and attack along the length of the bomber train. A flight of 4 streaks in, lobbing cannon shells at long range before any of the Mustangs can engage. As the Germans break away, one 262 gets careless. He flies right in front of P-51 pilot Lieutenant Earl Lane. Lane reacts instinctively, breaking away to pursue the enemy jet.
In this situation, Lane fired a tremendous long-range deflection shot. He's got range and he's got deflection, two factors that really conspire to throw off a lot of pilots' aims.
At a range of 2,000 feet, he opens fire. Rounds slam into the enemy jet, wounding the pilot. The German pilot pulls his clipped warbird skyward and launches himself from the canopy. One down, but there are more 262s attacking the American heavies. One of the German jets makes a high-speed pass. But as he pulls out of his run, he flies over the cockpit of Mustang pilot Charles Brantley.
Brantley was able to latch onto him and open fire from much closer range than Lane was. And again, scored kills on the Me-262. Despite its speed, the airplane was relatively easy to bring down if you could hit it with 650s, and that's what happened.
Further back in the bomber stream, the Me-262 attack reaches a fever pitch. Like a pack of wolves, the German jets stalk their prey from a distance before they pounce. Lieutenant Roscoe Brown, flying lead in a flight of 4, cranes his neck, searching for any threat to his sector of the bomber train.
I was headed in a left-hand turn. All of a sudden, I saw these jets coming up from 7 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Coming up.
The 262s close on the bombers at over 400 miles per hour. Roscoe Brown and his men are all that stand in their way. Without a moment's hesitation, Brown calls drop tanks and turns to engage, flying headlong into the fight. March 24th, 1945. The Tuskegee Airmen have drawn first blood against World War II's most advanced fighter, the German Me-262. Now, Roscoe Brown has sighted another flight of 262s, threatening the bomber stream he's charged to protect.
When you have to decide what you're going to do and where you're going to do it, you're going as a fighter pilot. It's all reaction. I knew it was a jet. I knew it was fast. I knew what I had to do. I said, let's go. You don't internalize. There's no analysis there.
Brown and his flight are here. The Germans are here.
Well, I developed a little thing where I would pull up, give it full power, pull it way up, stick back, right rudder, and then flip it. Boom! Go down, and I'm almost at stalling point. So when I flip and push it down, the speed increases, and then I would pull it back up.
The move is a modified split S that gives Brown an extra boost of speed while putting him on an intercept course with the 262s.
When I came out of the split S, I could see him. He was coming up. And this is within fractions of a second.
Roscoe Brown seizes the opportunity. The German jet flames, shedding debris before the pilot bails out. It's a confirmed victory. The third Me-262 down that day.
But it wasn't over then. Because I'd made these radical moves and had gotten this guy, I had, in a sense, lost my wingman. My wingman was chasing somebody else. When I'm up over Berlin, 25,000 feet, and I'm looking around for somebody to join. And I see this P-51 silhouette about 12 o'clock. I said, well, look, I didn't have radio contact, I didn't know who he was. I said, look, let me join you.
Roscoe Brown moves in closer to what he believes to be a friendly P-51.
So as I started making the circle, I saw that the P-51 had a German cross on it. We knew that the Germans had captured some P-51s and were infiltrating some of the formations to try to get closer. And so I said, well, let me go get him.
Brown goes on the attack. But the German takes evasive action. Brown pulls the stick in tight, straining to pull lead on his enemy.
So I started pulling tight, tight, tight. I'm gaining on him. And then I looked at my fuel gauge. My fuel gauge was a little bit below half. I said, well, I got two things to do. One, I can get this guy and get this victory and parachute and hope they don't kill me. Or the other, I can say bye-bye and go home. So I said, look, I'll let him go, firewalled it, get it back south, and I flew about 700 miles by myself over enemy territory.
Roscoe Brown returns to base victorious.